Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. In our last episode, we had just completed Organa, the first of the floating islands, and we recruited Fenril, the first of the 3 High Knights. So they have 3 attacks in the front row. They're kind of like a buffed up samurai master for all intents and purposes. 3 attacks in the front row, the Ianuki attack from the back row. So we'll throw her in Unit 20 here. That's kind of like the supernatural unit. We got Deneb, who's kind of like she's supernatural in a sense, because she always keeps reincarnating and coming back. And then we'll have the 3 High Knights, and we'll get another character from the heavens in a later on. She'll go into that group too. So yeah, we put it on our Wildman into its Evil 1 class. So that's the highest it can go. Got another first Muse other than Ronnie. First Muse we'll actually be using. We also got our first dragon that we'll be using, that gold dragon that came with Fenril. And the other High Knights will each come with a dragon too that we'll put to use. So let's head back to Organa here real quick. And as always, we will go talk with all the cities on the island, see if they have new things to tell us. So, and then we'll make our way to the second of the islands. Thank you so much for saving Organa. As a reward, let me give you this box of salvation. And that's just an item we can sell for money. We'll head to the other Sky Island, Muspelm, where we were told that Slust the Red is at. So here's that temple. This is going to be important later on in the game. Far to the west is a chaos gate leading to the Sky Island Muspelm. Slust the Red, one of the 3 High Knights, lives there. So Slust the Red, well, he's going to come with a red dragon. So that'll be our other dragon that we'll be using. So yeah, so no point in, like, there was no point in us using dragons earlier because we're gonna get ones. So yep, that allowed us to use other units that may not have gotten some time in the spotlight. So like the golems, or thank you so much for saving Organa, or other large like beast unit like the octopus krakens. So people seem to, the consensus dragons seem to be a good unit. There are 4 skylines all over the continent's Entergenia. Organa, home of Fenril, Muspelm, home of Slust, Shigold, home of Fogel, and finally Shangri-La, home of Felina, goddess of justice. So we were told that earlier, actually when we were doing this. Yeah, consensus seems to be that like dragons tend to be one of the better large units. It is said that Fenril is a prisoner of the gods. It says she displeased them by helping the humans in the ogre battle. The reason being that even after the ogre battle, the humans never stopped fighting. The gods decided there should be no conflict between those of the overworld and those below. But Fenril disobeyed and gave the humans a second chance. That's right, the sword Brunhild. Fenril could not stand aside and watch the humans be abandoned by the gods, and that's why she disobeyed them. The gods punished her, imprisoning her until a warrior worthy of Brunhild should appear. And that was Orpheus, and that was what we were told when we actually were fighting in this map, liberating it, but I went really fast that time, and I didn't really get it off, so I just basically summarized it, so that we actually got to see the exact dialogue. Well, I guess you down under boys aren't so bad after all. Orpheus isn't from Australia. I come from a land down under. Why don't you just move up here and get away from everything? Because we have to save the world down below. We can't just run away from our problems. Nope. Orpheus ain't that type of rat. Nope. With great power comes great responsibilities. We of the Knights of Organa will guard this island while Fenril is away. I guess they came back. Because apparently the knights were supposed to go to Shangri-La to or Shigold. I saw him attack a looking golem near the river. I wonder if it could have been one of those legendary iron golems. Iron golems are weak when it comes to fire. Be sure to remember that. I think regular golems are also weakest to fire. But yeah, they were supposed to go to Shigold to try to recruit Fogel. Shangri-La is where the Valonia, the goddess of justice, is. But alright, well, we're back here. I just didn't want to waste, even though it's only 700 Goth for their deployment, I didn't want to waste a day. So we'll just get the rest of these things, and then we'll head over to Muspelm. Thank you so much for saving Organa. No problem. Yeah, going back to what I was alluding to earlier, dragons tend to be considered by most one of the better, bigger units because they have good offense and good defense. Where a lot of other units, they're either like specialized from defense or offense. If you go way over to east, you should find a Roshian temple. The monk there has the worst memory I've ever seen. He'd forget his head if it wasn't stuck on. Makes some really fine cakes though, and both of those will be very important going on to that side quest about getting the 12 Zodiac stones. A monk and a cake. Forgetful monk and cake. So, yeah, dragons, good offense, good defense. You know, golems tend to be more like like physical defensive. Giants are, I guess, more offensive with their 3 clubs and better growth than agility than the golems. And then the flyers are mainly used for flying, so. Speaking of flying, here we are on the second Sky Island. This one is much, much smaller, so it's going to be a little bit more intense, the fighting, because it's not going to be spread out as much. There's going to be a lot of fighting in the middle here over these like volcano areas. So we're going to make a lot of mountain units because we're going to be doing a lot of fighting over the mountains. So, and inside those mountains is where we can encounter some all the neutral encounters in this area. We can get fire giants, raven men, and red dragons, all level 15 in the mountain areas. So we may recruit a fire giant, because that'll give us our first fire giant. We have the Titan giant already, so fire giants are kind of the evil alignment giants. The Titan giants that we got with Norn, they're the good alignment, and ice giants are the neutral things. And we can recruit them on some of the snow maps later on in the game. So, and Orpheus will do some flying around here to do some liberation. We'll go out and liberate this one first, because that's the closest one to where all the fighting's going to be. Yeah, you can see this is a pretty small map, but doesn't mean it's going to be an easy map necessarily. Enemies, though, are basically the same level as the enemies in Organa, so it didn't matter which one we did first. There's going to be 23 enemy units, and levels are basically, you know, 13, 14, 15-ish. So I'm looking at how many we have flying here. We have some 3 flying. So 6 flying units, and they're all high sky. So the rest will have a bunch of land units, but some pretty tough ones. So we'll have a few dragon and giant units to deal with. So let's set up our line here in these mountains here. We got one flanking unit up there already going after our Wild Man unit. So let's see who the first one in our battle is here. One of the high-flying ones. Got a cockatrice in there, and as you can see the usefulness of the cockatrice right there. It turned our shaman into stone, so now she won't be able to heal at all. So, luckily though, our witch stunned their units, so they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage to us. And our Halloweener doing some good work, hitting both the leader and the cockatrice in the back row, cutting their hit points in half. And it looks like we're going to have a rematch here. Let's see if our cleric shaman, can avoid being turned to stone. Alright, looks like they must be going after Strong, because they tried to stone the Eagle Man in the front row, who had the most hit points. So if that's the case, oh, well, it's stunned anyway. If that was the case, its next thing would have went after the Halloween now. But then it went after the other Eagle Man because he got healed up. And looks like our Halloween will do more. Oh, taking out that cockatrice. Now taking out the cockatrice, well, we don't have any way to take it out because the Halloween will just keep cutting its hit points in half, so it won't really do lethal damage to it, and we don't have any back row targeting. But if we did take care of that cockatrice, that unit would still be a flying unit, though. So the angel back there is, see, it's like a pinkish color. The other angel was orange. That means that angel is a cherubim, which is the updated version of an angel, the second tier, and that has 2 halo attacks. And from the back row, 2 banishes, or 2 halos from the front row, 2 banishes from the back row. So our Halloween would be pretty good against this unit, because dragons tend to have pretty decent defense, other than the element they're weak against. So if we had some fire-based weapons, if you're really shifting weaponry around, if you have some fire-based weapons and you know that you're going to be fighting some silver dragons, it'd be good to throw some fire weapons on there. Help pierce the dragon's good defense, because they're weak against that element. It was a pretty offensive powerhouse unit. 6 front row attacks and 4 targeted back row attacks, so 10 attacks total. So gonna promote our ninja there and our wild man. We've promoted our other ninja to a ninja master already, and our other wild man to his evil 1 class. The evil classes, the evil 1 class, unlike the paladin and the samurai master, doesn't get another attack from the front row. It maintains that just 2 attacks from the front row. But it does get 2 back row attacks. Slust is a little bit silly, but really a great knight. If only he stopped chasing all those girls. So it's the only tier 3 fighter class that doesn't have 3 front row attacks, but it's the only one that has 2 back row attacks. The paladin doesn't have any back row attacks, it just uses the healing. The samurai master maintains the Ianuki targeted physical attack. The ninja master just gets the 1 hit all attack. But the evil 1 will get 2 fireball attacks. The evil 1 has a big axe, and he swings when he swings from the back row, he shoots a fireball. So, and 1 eagle man down. So we're really close to finishing off the other Eagle Man then, and then we'll be able to take out that cockatrice. Here's the biggest problem in that group. Here's the other type of flying unit. 2 griffins in the back row with a Beastmaster in the middle. So now it looks like they did a lot of damage there. But the good thing with griffins in the back row is even though they have a hit all attack, they only have 1. So pretty much this unit is going to kind of come in, do a lot of damage in its first, turn, because the griffins are probably going to go first because they have high agility growth. But then if you can survive that initial attack, it's not that bad. They won't be doing much more damage afterwards. So now if you have a unit like that, that's a good way to build a unit for like hit and run. So if you have a unit that maybe don't care about their charisma because they'll be retreating a lot, you just have a unit like that come in with high agility, do their 2 hit all attacks, the 2 griffins, and then just retreat. And so you can slowly weaken out a unit so that say you have a unit that you want to build up, get like the kills to gain the most experience. You can use a hit and run unit like that griffin unit, 2 back row griffins, to hit the enemy, retreat, and weaken it for your unit that you want to get the major experience. And that unit being with 2 griffins in it will mean that it's a high sky unit, which means it'll have really good mobility to get around the battlefield. So it'll be easy to and because it's a high sky unit, which is the fastest moving unit of all, they'll be able to not only get around the battlefield really quick, but they're able to retreat from pretty much everybody. So they hit, run away, because when you retreat from battle, the unit pushes back, so it creates even more distance between them and the pursuing unit. So yeah, it will never be able to be caught up by the unit that's chasing, that it's kind of harassing. So we got lucky there that our hound didn't finish off the Beastmaster. But you guys can see that unit is really good for, coming out, doing a little bit of damage at first, but then after it does that initial damage, you can see that we pretty much stomp it and hurt it really bad. So if you build a unit like that, just use just the way I mentioned it. Use it as a hit and run unit to go out, do a little bit of damage, and then flee and run away. So, like I said, if you have a unit, the griffins won't care about their charisma because they can never be leaders. So that's never going to affect their ability to promote. And then if you have the leader in the unit already in its maxed class, then that's another unit you don't have to worry about necessarily promoting, so that charisma drop will be bad. So I guess in that sense, probably maybe the most ideal unit to maybe run with a double griffin like that might be a ninja master, because ninjas have pretty good growth, agility wise, and they also have a hit all attack. So you get 3 hit all attacks right in a row, and then run away. So here's our fire giant. We could recruit it, but we can recruit one a little bit later. I'm mainly taking this fight just because I know it's not going to be a hard fight in terms of dealing damage to us. So the hope is obviously that our cleric heals up our wild man there a little bit, so in case he gets into a fight before he reaches the city to heal, he'll have a little bit more hit points. Let's see if we can finish this unit off. We should. So that's a good kiss there. The Raven Man has the best agility of the 3 front row fighters, so he's more likely to hit. So we want him to get the bonus first to his attack modifiers. So well, there's a unit down. Wow. And Balone basically just moved a step and is in another attack right here. So against another fire giant. So So let's see, he started with 109 hit points, so let's see if we can get him above that 109 through healing. So yeah, a little bit more there. And alright, he gained 4 hit points and some experience, so not as much as I wanted him to heal, but every little bit counts. So, and we should be able to finish this unit off too. So, you know, Hound missed, though, but we don't have to worry about any more damage because the Griffin already went. And that unit is finished. I have to check our Hound, see if he's ready to promote. The rest of his unit, the Witch is back. And once again, we got the dragons here. Halloween will still be effective against them. Not as effective because they still have a lot of hit points. They don't have as many hit points as they had earlier, but still being able to cut the hit points out, pretty good. Move it, the front row one into KO range. And our Witch is being really, really good at shutting down the Cherubim. I don't think she's gotten one hit, one attack against us at all in all the battles we've fought this unit. Here's another unit with large characters in it. Some ice giants. Weird that they'll be fighting over volcanoes. Ice giants being a snow unit. So they will not be as effective in the mountains, or I guess in the fire, but that's good for us. Woohoo! And that's even better, having everybody stunned. So, well, and there we go. Even though our Pumpkinhead didn't do too much, but that's okay. He pulled his weight during those battles with the dragons. Man, Balone is just really encountering all the enemies, all the neutral encounters, so we'll get some good healing for this one, because that Raven Man already did all his turns. One Inferno from the back row, and he targeted the Worm, which has good fire resistance. So, yeah, we're pretty much fully healed. We might be missing a hit point or two here and there, but for the most part, look, we won't even have to go and hang out on that fort, so. Thank you, Neutral Encounters, for healing us up. World card. That'll be good for some future bosses. Not against Slust, though, because he is going to be just like Fenril. He'll have a physical attack from the back row. The 3 High Knights were once mere mortals like us. They were originally heroes who fought in wars down below. They were brought to the Skylands by the gods and given eternal life. Okie dokie. And let's head over here. There's a suspicious little floating island over there. Smaller little island. Uh-oh. Well, this is an interesting unit. Not too good on damage, because the Ice Giant will have 3 attacks on the front row, so that'll be bad. And the Wizard has 2 targeted attacks, but the Clerics will never be able to do any damage. So this is more of a defensive unit. Those Clerics are going to heal up a lot of the damage that we do. So I use that Magician card mainly to weaken up the Ice Giant. Magician is a fire-based card, and the Ice Giant is obviously going to be weak against fire. And I wanted to get him out of the way so that we can start targeting the back row and start taking out those Clerics. Because if we didn't, all our targets, basically all our attacks would be going against that Ice Giant, and then the Clerics with 4 heals were basically almost healing up all the damage we did. So I was like, we gotta weaken it up, use our tarot card to weaken it up. Not to, defeat it, but just weaken it to the point where we can defeat it. Because remember, we don't want to defeat enemies with tarot cards, because then that experience goes to Orpheus, and we don't want to overlevel Orpheus. because then we can drop his alignment, and Orpheus being the face of our army and doing all our liberating, we don't want him to have a low alignment and be evil. So that's why we want to, we never use a death card, because the death card defeats all enemies, I think, that are underneath below 10% of their maxed health. So yeah, we don't want to give all that experience to Orpheus, so that's why you'll never see me take a death card. So it's like, do you want to keep this card? Nope, don't want to keep it, because you want to keep Orpheus in that good state, high alignment. So let's finish off this unit here. Oh man, it got an attack off before our shaman healed. Well, this unit has been getting a lot of neutral encounters. Maybe we'll get some other neutral encounters. And it'll get a ninja master. So Wild Man, he just needs one more level. His charisma and alignment are good enough. Charisma has to be above 60, alignment between 0 and 30, so he meets that requirement. We just gotta get one more level, so guess all those levels that he's been getting from the neutral encounters are paying off. So, and there goes one of our little giants. This is a good unit to fight with this unit, because the giants and the knight can only hit the front row, so we don't have to worry about our squishy nymph there in the back, the fairy creature. She's in no harm. So, safe and protected. Look. Uh-oh. We got, we might actually get to see the cherubim fight now. Yeah, because we won't be able to stun her unless we take her out real quick. So this is be one instance though. If we defeat the dragon, it'll actually go from a plains unit to a flying unit, because the angel is low sky, but the dragon is heavier, so the cherubim can't carry it. So, but we got to see the cherub use its banish spell, white magic, so it did some decent damage to our little demon there in the front row. But we did more to it. So now she can go hang out on the fort there and do some healing, but well, I guess it's for the best that she gets to this attack first, because now she might not even need to go on that fort to heal. Not only gets one attack from the back row and has some pretty good defense, so we shouldn't be able to finish. By the time we finish it off, the cleric should get some healing in. And unfortunately, got too much damage there, our demon. Why can't that would have been the perfect time for us to have one of those times where we get the enemy down to 1 hit point and then we don't finish it off. So, but nope. The game knows when we want something to happen, it won't happen. So, sometimes I think like the game, they call it like trolling, where the game kind of does something that knows is going to push your buttons, you know. Here's a dragon. So with this, we've encountered all the different types of neutral encounters. The Ballooned unit ran into the fire giants, and then a raven man, and now we ran into the last one, the red dragon. As I said, they're all level 15, but we don't need any of those units in our army. So Orpheus will continue to explore these outer islands. Balloon will continue to do some fighting. So it should be an easy battle to win. Luckily, our unit is set up really nice where, see, our Worm and our Wild Man can hit the clerics directly. So And now the wizard should fall very easily to the worm. Yeah, one hit. Boink. And Wild Man just gained his level, so now he's level 16, which means he is available to promote into our Evil Man class. Alright, so we'll finally get to see an Evil Man in action. But we'll have to wait to see that Evil Man in action in our next episode, because this episode is pretty much ready to be concluded, so... Yep, we did a good number on the Imperial forces, and we'll continue to our advance in our next episode. Take care, thanks for following along. Bye!